Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a complete project, like a series, mini series about a rewire. Okay, so what I want you to do before you do anything else is like and subscribe, okay, and turn your notifications on, because at the very end of this, I have to be quiet, at the very end of this project I'm going to be doing something very special for the customers that I've never ever done, and I've always wanted to do it for a customer, but I've never been able to. Now I know that's a bit mysterious, and trust me, you just got to believe in the process. There's a massive reason behind why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I just want to say a massive thank you for British General for supplying the materials for this job. So they are sponsoring this series. Absolute huge shout out to them. So it wouldn't have been possible without them to do this. So I know it's all a bit encrypted, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll see the whole journey all the way through. So give me 2 seconds and I'll explain the job. Okay, so we've got a rewire here. So it's because the homeowners are in their 80s. They have got a few health conditions, things like that. So we've got to keep the dust to an absolute minimum. So everything's being mounted on the surface. Obviously for that reason alone, that we have to make sure that we keep the dust down to a bare minimum, which is, again, is tricky for a rewire. I've not done a surface mounted rewire for years, in fairness, and I know they're a little bit more of a challenge in some respects. Other ways, yes, they're nice and easy, but there's various different things. So there is a load of faults. I'm going to go in and show you them now. I'm going to show you what's what with the house and what is going on. So let's go inside. Okay, so this is the board that we've got. Very neat and original, but obviously it needs to be all updated. Okay, so the MCBs that are all in there, 2 of them they just fall out completely, just drop out and stuff like that. So there's needs sorting. We've got our gas meter in here. Like I say, the gas bonding is all here, so nice and local to the consumer unit. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this in use for as long as we possibly can. We're going to drop on a new board to the side of it, so we then can drop our new tails in. But if you look at that, look the neatness on the previous, you know, it shows a bit of pride, that, doesn't it? You know, it's a lot neater than some of the new boards that I go to. So the run back up to the stairs, we're going to have to go through here and then up. So Kian at the minute is upstairs. So we've got to keep the stair lift on at all times, which is fine. So Kian's just lifting up the floor. So I've been here previously and had a look after another electrician had been in. And there's about 3 million junction boxes, not exaggerating at all, underneath here. When I actually looked that way, you can see more going that way, and all I lifted up was just this little bit here. So the idea is that we're going to be moving this. So one of the jobs is this powers up the stairs. So we're going to move that over this side. I'm going to put a double socket by the side of it. We're then going to shoot some trunking up to the top, go into the loft, and then drop everything down, because we can't lift the floors up in here. We can do this one and we can do that one, but the bedrooms can't be lifted, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick off this room first. So we've got 4 sockets going in. So I'll explain a bit more in a second, but so we're going to put a socket by the side of here, one down this point here. Then we're going to run the trunking across. So it's going to come behind that wardrobe across to here. So just going to have another double here, and then one by the side of that bed, basically. So a little bit of a background. So I've come here to have a look because I got called out by their neighbour, which is, you know, it's been really helpful. So I've actually been liaising with the next door neighbour. So I got put in touch with the neighbour from Danny. Sparky Milan on Instagram. So if you don't follow Danny, then obviously give him a shout. I'll try and put the link in the description below. So obviously, because this is my area, it's a bit far out for Danny. So sounded a little bit like turf wars there, didn't it? But it's not. So Danny just said, yeah, just get Mike over. So I've come over, another Sparky's been out, and yeah, you'll find out a bit later on. So he's come out, and yeah, not great. So the sockets up here are dead. There's literally, so there is a voltage here, but it doesn't do anything. It's a really mixed message. So it's mixed in with up here, downstairs. It's a right old dodgy mess. So that's what we're here for. We're starting afresh, getting it all sorted and cracking on. So what I'm going to do, okay, me and Kian are going to get ourselves set up, gives ourselves a minute. Also, tea was literally as soon as we walked through the door. Brilliant. So customer points, going to be honest, that was a wicked. So we're going to lift all these boards up. I can show you some of the little bits under the floors, and then we're going to get cracking, because we have got a time restraint on it, because we do need to get it pushed on for obvious reasons. So we've got our runs now, so we know where we're coming from. See, T number 2. Woo-hoo-hoo, yes, T number 2. So the original plan was I was going to hopefully bring the cables up through there, all the way up into the loft and so on. But we've actually found another cheeky little route. So let's just show you some of these. So this is all the junction box areas that we've got going on. All fed round. There's more around here. I can't obviously show you right under there at the minute. So what Kian's done, he's lifted up a row of boards all the way through, which is like essentially like the spine of the house is what I call it. Because of trying to keep the damage down to a bare minimum. So what Kian's doing now, he's drilling two lots of holes all the way down that way. And then we're going to rod our cables through for like the lounge and things like that way. All the way through all the joists and stuff. And then where it comes to the ceilings, like, because obviously we've got floors like laminate flooring on both these rooms, where it comes to those, we're going to have to cut a little hole in the ceiling downstairs just so we can grab it and then put it into the trunking. So yeah, so Kian's like those, you see, so he's drilling these two through. It's quite handy that all the pipes are connected into one run, which is actually nice. So yeah, so we're trying to make the customer's life a lot easier, in the sense of we're going to bring all the sockets and switches heights up to part M of the building regs, because of mobility issues. So we're going to bring them up. The sockets obviously 450 to the bottom, light switches are 1200 to the top. So that is where we're at the minute. So we're going to get all these drilled out, which Kian's going to do. And yeah, so my run, I'm going to show you the run. So down here, hopefully you can see that. So there's actually a stud wall here that's above the head of the kitchen door. So what I've managed to do is drill through that one, which is actually like there. So it actually comes through that way. This is why the plan's changed slightly. And I'm going to show you downstairs where that other side of that is. So this is the other side of that. So what we've done, there's a false ceiling in here. So I've pulled that down, and you can see where someone in the past, originally on the original Rewire before it was messed around, has brought the cables through and gone a similar path that way. And I've drilled through there, and that is going to be our main cable route, that is. And then we're going to bring them down through here, similar path to the other one, and then bring it up through there and drop down into the board. Really good start at the minute. So that has always been the trickiest part of the job, is getting your first cable run sorted up to so yeah, really chuffed basically so far that we've got the cable run, so we know where they're going. That's always the hardest bit of the job. Update, so I'm going to show you, so this room is pretty much ready for start running cables. So that is where we're at. I know what you're thinking, that's mental. So we're starting to run cables now. So what we've done is we've got, oh hello to you. So we've got our patch scissors and we've run, so we're going to run the cable up to the loft, up there, and then it's going to come down, feed across that one, and then back to the next one, and so on and so on and so on. So we're going to do radials on here, okay? So we're not going to do loads of rings, we're going to do loads of radials as such. So in this section now, so we've already started running cable, so I'm going to have the socket on the top of the landing. There's a fuse spur which is for the stair lift, so that's going to be there. And I'm going to run the landing and this little box room behind you. So this one in here. So we're going to run, because there's only literally a couple of sockets down there in the boiler feed, so that's going to take care of that. And what we've also done, rather than tuck one bit of trunking up in the corner, I put it inside this spare room, like the little box room. So that's going up into the loft. So the loft is a little bit of a surprise, to be honest. I didn't realise what was going on there. Yeah, nice cat. Cat and a burger. I don't know if that offends anyone. Get over it. So what I didn't realise in the loft is that it's almost like a partial loft conversion-ish, sort of. It's really just for storage, that's what it is. So I've got the centre section, so like there and here, is just purely like a storage area, but it's boarded. And then I've got two decent access holes at either end. So the lights are staying in the same position as well. So what I'm going to do is get all the cables in position, coil them up above, and then when we're ready to sort of like down the go, let's get onto the first and second fix all in one go, if that makes any sense. But the boards, that's what it's actually getting to. The boards above, what we're going to do is drill all the way through them, because like I say, I've spoke to the client and they're all good with it. So we're going to drill all the way through, and then we're going to staple the cables on top of the boards, because we're not down to lift all those up and refit them and all the rest of it. So far so good. Kian, how do you like the rewires this way?
Good.
All right, isn't it? It's not so. Obviously, we're keeping all the dust down, which is the priority, because we want to make sure it's as minimal dust as possible. But yeah, so right. I think I'm going to carry on getting some cables ran in position. And Kian's just got one socket behind the door to sort out, and then we're on to the master bedroom. So yeah, if we can get some cables ran up here today, I will be happy. Right, so we're going to start putting more cables in. So what I've got is, it's going to be a 16 amp radial circuit that goes down to the board. So from the board, let's say, up to the socket on the top of the stairs and the stair lift, runs all the way back down here, and then at the minute it's literally underneath here. So we've got a double socket going on and a fuse spur for the boiler. So that's one circuit. Okay, so the next circuit that we're running in now is going to go, this is going to go back to the board, and then it's going to travel up here and then go up into the loft and over to where Kian is working, literally to the side of you right now. So what we're doing is we're running it all in 2.5 mil. So could do it in 4 if we wanted to, but put it on a 32 amp RCBO. But we don't really need to do that. So 16's more than enough for the number of points. So the tricky bit is going to actually be to get that underneath there. So I think what I'm going to do is going to get the cable tongue tucked up from that end. So I'll go and grab that out of the van. Okay, so we've got the cable tongue to here. Very noisy, that boy. So we're just going to peel that back. Carry on, Kia, mate.
Done.
Done. Here's Romeo done. So just twist that over, and then hopefully if I go back downstairs, that should hopefully pull that all through in one go. But I reckon it's going to knock you guys over, which would be very upsetting. Let's put you there. So hopefully the cable should disappear down the hole here somewhere. It's not until I move that light. You just guide that down, Kian. Okay. Nice one, Kian, thank you. Okay, so that's all of that. That cable's in, so now it's just the other end of it. So it's that in now, so we'll have to pull enough of that off to know that we're going to get all the way back up to basically where we are here. Right, so we've got the cables all ran. Okay, the cables are ran. They are in position. Okay, so I've got the sockets up in this room sorted, so we're at this stage basically. So we've got all the capping to put on. We'll second fix everything perhaps tomorrow on those. So we've also got the lighting cable, lighting feed should I say, is up. So try and take you down this way. So obviously we've got a lot of tidying up to do to make it ship, shape and shiny. Easy for me to say. So we've got the cable above this light here. So you may have noticed that the tiles, they've got the old ceiling tiles on. So a bit of a close up there on the old face, isn't it? So Kian's just whipping around with a hoover before we then start putting all the lids on. So you may have noticed that it's got these ceiling tiles on. So they've been removed in the room this way, but in this one, they're still in place. So they are due to come down, but that's not for us to do. So what we're going to do is when we are changing the pendant just up there, we're going to take the one tile off so it's out of the way, and obviously our lights are then not in contact with these. So if you don't know what the problem is with these these tiles, they're a massive fire risk basically, because when they set on fire, there's like a hot goop that drips down and it stays on fire. So if that gets on you or any surface it touches, it will continue to burn, and obviously that is a little bit of a problem. So we're just going to get all the lids on now and start getting some of these boards back down, and we'll go again tomorrow. So right, I'll catch up with you in a minute once I get a bit more squared away. Right, that is us done. So we are done for today. Just got to load the rest of the kit up. So yeah, pretty successful. I've got all the cables ran for the sockets upstairs. We've got the lighting feed up, all the trunking back on in place, carpets back down, boards back down, little square up. So yeah, so not too bad to be fair. So again, massive shout out to BG, because without them it wouldn't have happened. So like I say, make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on, press the notification button to stay on track with this. So I'm going to film every single day so we can keep on track of it, and then obviously at the very end you're going to find out what I'm going to be doing. Thanks for watching, look after yourselves, take care, see you again.